Hi, I'm Kelly Whiteman Snipes, and this is my husband Dan Snipes, and this is our dog Farmer. Welcome to our family farm. The history behind our family farm is I married into my husband Dan's family farm, and he is the fourth generation to grow row crops on this farm, corn and soybeans. There are actually 3 different locations of different family members living in the area, and this is the actual original homestead. So we live where Dan's great-grandparents once lived. Dan and I farm on our own. We have our own operation, and then we also share some of our resources with my father-in-law, and he has his own operation that he farms from, and we all work together to get everything done. So we are a smaller farm operation, and one of the key things to grow your operation is to diversify your crops. And looking at the different varieties that we grow within corn and soybeans, there's not a lot of options there, but when the opportunity to grow high oleic soybeans came into the picture, we jumped at the opportunity because it was kind of a neat way for us to grow a crop that was newer to the market. So being involved in that is just, it's just kind of a fun thing, but there is also a benefit, and we get a premium for raising that crop as well. So this past spring, when we planted our crops, we had a few challenges. The beginning started out great. We were moving along quickly, and then we had some rains come in towards the later part of the planting season. And so we farm in ground that's a little bit lower, so it holds water much easier. And we had some parts of our farm it flooded a little bit, so we had to do some replanting. So after the soybean plant or the seed gets too much water, it kind of destroys the seed, and so we have to go back in and plant new seed. So it wasn't a terrible season, but it wasn't the most ideal either. Again, as farmers, we're always fighting with the various weather conditions. We currently are in the middle of harvest right now, and our yields are not at our high average, but they are not where I thought they would be either. I figured they would have been a lot lower than they are. So I am pretty pleased with where we're at as far as yields go this past week when we've started harvest. So far, we're only a couple of days into our harvest. We are seeing a decent quality crop. So sometimes we battle some different factors, like you can battle weed pressure, you can also battle some different mold and fungus and things like that. But so far, we are seeing a nice clean crop going through the combine.
The Plenish product is used in a lot of different areas. You can use it in food. There is some lubricants and oils that can also be used. The main product that the Plenish is used in that we hear a lot of is Nestle's Coffee Mate Creamer, and also Stouffer's, so they're animal crackers. Pringles is another big one, and then the Plenish oil in general is something that a lot of people like to use while they're cooking. So in our area, yes, a lot of farmers plant Plenish soybeans. Our Pioneer agencies sell well over half of our beans as Plenish that are contracted locally to different delivery points. We're very blessed with delivery points in this area. The closest is about 5 miles out of town at Smith Family Farms. They are a fall delivery point. Another that, if you want to store the beans, is ADM in Frankfort, which is just over an hour away. But Bunge and ADM are the main players for this for us, and they have many delivery points all across the state. The high oleic soybean oil is healthier than conventional soybean oil. It's got 0 trans fats, and so that is what a consumer is looking at a lot when they see the label on the back of a product at the grocery store. There is no different mechanism for plenish beans. You will plant them the same way you plant commodity beans. You will harvest them the same way with the same combine as you would a conventional bean. The only difference in season is that you will have to keep them segregated from the conventional beans. So we sell to quite a few customers here in the area. Dan and Kelly Snipes do grow Pioneer corn and plenish soybeans.
International buyers are very important for us here on our farm, our neighbors, and our friends in agriculture across the country. There's a very large amount of crops that do get exported out of our country. And I feel like as a society, we're always talking about, supporting your local farmer. I always say we need to support our global farmers. So I look at us as global farmers instead of being local farmers. But it is nice to have relationships with farmers on a local level. So it's exciting to be able to connect our global customers with farmers. So to them, maybe it does feel like they're buying local. The situation with COVID-19 has not directly impacted our farm as far as us being able to get the resources that we need. However, it has risen stress levels. There was a time a few months ago when gasoline usage was down, therefore ethanol usage was down. We weren't sure if we were going to have a place to take our corn this fall because we do take our corn to an ethanol plant. So there's definitely a lot of stress just with all the unknowns and what was going to happen. So I guess there's different levels of how it has impacted us. I know we are not driving as many places as we usually do. We know our neighbors aren't. We know our friends in the bigger cities are definitely not going anywhere. And so there just is not the demand for ethanol that there normally is. I have had the opportunity to serve on the Innovation and Sustainability Action Team through U.S. Grains Council. And a lot of the work that we do is really taking a deep look at some of the sustainabilities within agriculture and also the biotechnology and the crop protection and what that looks like on a not only on a local level, but a global level as well, and how those issues are perceived by consumers and how we as farmers can meet the needs of some of the challenges that we are always facing with technology and sustainability. I always say we are small farmers using big technology because I think it's pretty cool that here we get to grow a variety of soybean that was created essentially in a lab through biotechnology. And that is something that 100 years ago would have never even been thought of. So in my opinion, the hybrids of the seed that we get to grow is a very big piece of technology that I think a lot of people don't think about. They don't think a little seed could be modern technology, but it really is. So the seed technology allows us to do more with less. So we can increase our yields through seed technology, grow more crops on less ground. We're using less resources like water and chemicals and other concerns that may impact the environment. Conservation practices that we utilize here on our farm consist of a multitude of things. For example, we rotate our crops. So we rotate from corn to soybeans, which allows the plants to kind of share the nutrients. We also utilize soil testing. Every 2 years, we get our soil tested to make sure that our ground is in better condition than when it was than we put our hands on it. So one of our ultimate goals is to continue keeping that soil as high of quality as we can. 'Cause better soil equals better yields, and it's better for the environment. It's kind of a win for everybody. Another environmental conservation practice that we utilize on our farm that has become one of our number one priorities is to always make sure that we have a plan to continue upgrading our equipment, because newer equipment is more efficient and it is better for the environment. Our farm operation is unique in that Dan and I both work full-time off the farm, plus we farm part-time. And the challenges that come with that is definitely time. Dan works in agriculture equipment, and so his busy seasons align with our busy seasons here on the farm. I work in the creative industry, graphic design and writing, and a lot of my clients have pretty strict deadlines. So there are days when I have to decide, do I stay in my office or do I go get in the tractor cab? And the both of us have to really manage our time wisely. We utilize a lot of nights and weekends, sometimes early mornings to haul the grain. But the that we're in as young farmers, investing and growing the farm on our own, we have to have those day jobs in order to support ourselves and make a living. And our ultimate goal is to continue growing our farm so that one day one of us can farm full time.